Her very old friend and former employer, bon vivant and godfather to our eldest, would be here, Mr. David McDonough. And whilst not wishing to sound like the appalling Jonathan Ross, you'll be delighted to hear, ladies and gentlemen, that David McDonough is indeed with us tonight and will be saying a few words shortly. But before he does, I just feel I do need to thank various people. First of all, Charles Fenwick, for allowing us to come here to have supper in his simply splendid shop tonight. The lovely A.J. Brennan, who is responsible for everything delicious that you've already eaten and also responsible for delicious things that you are yet to eat. Amanda for the magnificent flowers. Who have I forgotten? I've probably forgotten somebody. Myth, whose beautiful handwriting is responsible for all the card places in front of you. But rather like a little boy with the cherry on top of the cake, I saved the biggest and best thanks to the end. And that, of course, goes to darling George, who probably, against the advice of many of you here today, 16 years ago said yes to a question that I posed to her outside a bar in the south of France. Shut up, Eccles Williams. I thought actually Buckmaster might be first, but no, Eccles Williams beat him to it. She has, quite simply, given me everything that I could ever have dreamt of. And as if 2 Welsh Springer Spaniels weren't enough, on top of that, of course, 2 magnificent boys. So, darling, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Before handing over to David to propose a toast to the birthday girl tonight, there are 4 people I would just like to mention who I know would love to have been here. The first, of course, is our 2 lovely boys, Benedict and Beetle, who hopefully, even as we speak, are nose down in Kennedy's beastly Latin primer, but are probably nose down in a glass of claret behind the bike shed. But they would have loved to have been here, but sadly it wasn't to be the case. And the other 2, of course, are George's magnificent and wonderful parents. Michael, at the age of 96, has quite wisely and very luckily, in my view, decided to hang up his dancing pumps, and even as we speak, will be at home with a glass of whiskey. Lucky chap. And Antonia, darling Antonia, the incomparable Antonia, as I think many of you know, is none too well at the moment, and so she is very much in the thoughts and prayers of all her family and all her many friends. Anyway, enough of the monkey, over to the organ grinder, Mr. David McDonough.
Jeremy, Georgie, all your families and close friends. I think I should start by adding a special thanks that Jeremy left out, which is to himself and to George for conceiving and executing a wonderful party in the midst of such gloom and doom and depression. And I think it's been one of the first times this year we've all been given something lovely and special to look forward to, and I think they should be toasted and thanked for that alone. It's always lovely and flattering to be asked to do, well, nowadays in my book, it's 50th is a young one, 60th is standard, 70th is increasingly the case, and I've done 80ths and 90ths. And the problem comes when a theme doesn't immediately present itself, and then you're left with the inevitable stream of well-meaning and heartfelt platitudes that try and conjure up happy times past. And one remark, as you hear it echoing back on these beastly things, sounds extraordinarily like the one that you made 3 or 6 months before. But just occasionally a theme does present itself, and there's a happy hook on which you can hang a few hopefully well-chosen remarks. And in this case, as far as George is concerned, who I've known for 25 years, it is goodness. There are very, very few people in my life who one could ever ascribe the word or words truly good to. And in my book, that description perfectly fits George. In the time we worked together, which was 8 years, which is as long as I've ever managed to hold on to a secretary, I think, in the nicest way. She exhibited then, and we were both much younger then, all the loving and loyal and true qualities that I think everyone in this room, most of all her family, but all of you, her good friends, would know and have come to love and count on. And it's very rare. I know the word old-fashioned conjures up probably not good things in these trendy and transient days, but she is what I think of as a proper, old-fashioned, truly good human being who has values and principles that are unshakable and that she passes on to her children, of which I'm proud to be the godfather of Benedict, and among her friends and family, and everyone that comes in touch with her in all walks of life, I know goes away feeling a little rosy glow, a little better for having known and been part of George's life and circle. And that's a very, very special quality to have. And to get to 50 and to have enhanced it and developed it and extended it and touched so many lives with it is really the best possible tribute I could ever pay. And I know it's one that would unite everyone here, and everyone here will be very lucky to look back at the times they've shared with George and all the good times, despite this miserable climate, that we have ahead. And all I know is that she's been a wonderful mother, she's a wonderful wife, she's a fantastic friend, and the fact that I'm here 25 years later, asked to do what Jeremy asked me to do this evening, is proof that she has the powers of adhesion that are so critical in friendship, lasting friendship. And that's a great, great gift in my book, as is true goodness. So I salute you, George, on behalf of your many, many friends and many who couldn't be here, and your family, and everyone that loves you, and wish you a very, very happy birthday, and last as long as your remarkable dad. God bless. Perhaps you'd raise a glass and drink a toast. Happy birthday, George.
Before we start the delicious supper, my sister Georgie and I were born one day apart, 10 years apart. And we shared a birthday party 20 years ago, you're still with me on all of this, right here in this very room. And it was the most fantastic occasion. It's a beautiful place, and Charles was very kind and let, I think, Georgie and I were the guinea pigs for the first ever party held here. So it was a fantastic occasion for those who remember it. Georgie, they say that 50 is the new 40, and you don't look a day older than 40. But thank you for being such a fantastic sister to all of us, and such a wonderful, wonderful friend. We love you dearly. Thanks, George.